My name is Ethan. I had lived in this town my whole life. Nothing here changed very fast. The streets stayed the same. The shops opened and closed, but the roads never moved. People grew older. That was all. Christmas was coming. Lights hung across the main street. The tree stood near the town hall. Every year it went up in the same place. I helped once, years ago. I did not anymore. I worked at a small repair shop near the edge of town. It stayed busy in winter. Cold weather broke cars. Snow made things worse. That morning, I heard a familiar name. Someone said Emma was back. I did not ask questions. News traveled fast here. It always had. Still, I felt my chest tighten when I heard it. Emma had left almost 10 years ago. We dated in high school. We were serious. At least, I was. I talked about staying here. I talked about building something. She listened, but her eyes were always somewhere else. She wanted the city. When she left for college, I did not stop her. I told myself I understood. I told myself I should let her go cleanly. It was not easy. It was never easy. After that, I dated other women. Some stayed for a while. None stayed long. People liked me. I knew that. But something always felt unfinished. When I heard Emma was back, I tried not to think about it. I focused on work. I changed tires. I checked engines. I kept my hands busy. In the afternoon, snow started to fall. Light at first, then thicker. I closed the shop early and walked through town. I did not have a plan. I just followed the main street. Christmas lights hung above the road. The stores were quiet. I stopped in front of the bookstore. I did not have a reason. I just stood there and looked at the window. That was when I felt someone watching me. I did not turn at first. Then I did. She was walking down the street. She was looking straight at me. Her hair was shorter than before. She looked older. She also looked the same. For a moment, I did not move. Then, our eyes met. I felt my chest tighten. The feeling was sudden and clear. She looked surprised. Then, her face became still. She did not smile. I did not smile either. I nodded once. It felt natural. She nodded back. She turned and walked away. I stayed where I was for a few seconds longer. Then I went inside the bookstore. That night, I lay in bed longer than usual. I thought about the past. I thought about things I never said. I thought about how long it had been. I also thought about her mother. I had heard she was not well. I wondered if I should stop by the house sometime. just to ask how she was doing, just to be polite. I did not decide yet. Christmas was close, and Emma was back in town. I saw her again the next day. I was driving through town in the afternoon. Snow had started to fall. It was light at first, then thicker. I slowed down near the main street. She was walking alone. Her coat was dark. Her hair was tied back. She carried a small bag. I did not stop the car. I told myself it was better that way. Later that day, I saw her again near the grocery store. She stood by the door and checked her phone. She looked tired. She walked inside without looking around. I stayed in my truck and waited until she went in. Then I drove away. After that, I kept seeing her around town, at the pharmacy, near her mother's house, at the post office. She moved through town like someone who knew the place well, but did not belong anymore. She did not linger. She did not stop to talk much. I never planned to follow her. Our paths crossed because this town was small. I reminded myself that she would leave again. That night, the snow got worse. I was heading home when I saw Emma's car stopped near the edge of town. Her wheels were stuck. The engine was off. The lights were still on. I knew the car. I pulled over without thinking. She stood beside it. Her coat was open. Snow covered her hair and shoulders. She tried to push the car, then stopped to catch her breath. I walked up and checked the tires. They were spinning on ice. I went to the back and started pushing. She joined me without a word. We worked together for a short time. The car moved slowly. After a moment, the car rolled forward. She stepped back. I did the same. She looked at me. Her face showed relief. Then she nodded. I told her the road was dangerous and that she should drive carefully. I said it in one clear sentence. I did not add more. She thanked me. Snow kept falling. The road was quiet. I walked back to my truck and left. That night, I thought about how easily we worked together. No planning. No hesitation. The next day, the town prepared for the Christmas event. I helped move chairs and boxes near the square. People worked in small groups. Music played softly from a speaker. She arrived later. I noticed her right away. She helped near the tree. She lifted decorations from a box. She focused on her hands. She did not look around much. We worked close to each other for a while. We did not speak. At one point, the tree leaned to one side. She reached out at the same time I did. Our hands touched. We both stopped. She pulled her hand back first. The tree stood straight again. After that, we kept a small distance. When the lights turned on, people clapped. Children laughed. Some took photos. I stayed until the end and helped clean up. She walked home alone. I watched her for a moment, then turned away. I had told myself I was fine, but seeing her every day made it difficult. Christmas morning was quiet. I spent it with my family. We ate breakfast together. We talked about simple things. No one rushed anywhere. That was normal for this town. After that, I went out to get coffee. My sister had asked me to bring one for her friend. She was staying with us for the holidays. We bought the coffee and walked back to the house. After that, I got into my truck and drove toward the hospital. I had heard that Emma's mother was not well. I wanted to check on her before the day got busy. As I drove down her street, I noticed her car in front of the house. Her car was parked in front. The hood was open. Emma stood next to it. She looked frustrated. She pressed the key again. Nothing happened. She stepped back and rubbed her hands together. I pulled over. She looked up when she saw me. Her face showed surprise, then hesitation. I walked closer and looked at the car. The engine would not start. I knew the car would need a shop. I told her the car needed a repair shop. I said everything was closed because it was Christmas. I said I could drive her to the hospital. That was not the whole truth. I owned a repair shop. I could open it any time if I wanted. But I did not say that. I wanted her in my truck. I wanted the time. She paused, then nodded. She did not have many options. She locked the car and got into my truck. The drive was quiet at first. The road was clear, but neither of us spoke much. Then she told me she had seen me that morning. She said I was walking with a woman. She said she thought the woman was my girlfriend. I told her she was not. I explained that the woman was my sister's friend. I said I did not have a girlfriend. She looked relieved, then uncomfortable. I told her there was a reason. I said it had been hard for me to stay in a long relationship. I said I kept comparing everyone to someone. She understood what I meant. She said she was sorry. I told her I was not blaming her. I said it calmly. I meant it. The rest of the drive felt different. Still quiet, but less tense. When we reached the hospital, I parked the truck and turned off the engine. Neither of us moved right away. Seeing her again made me realize something. I still had feelings for her. After that day, I drove her more often. Her car stayed in front of the house. It did not move. I decided not to open my repair shop during the holiday. I wanted to stay close to her. In the morning, I picked her up at the hospital. We went back to the house together. She packed what her mother needed. We did not rush. Then we drove back to the hospital. I stayed longer than I planned. I sat in the waiting area. I talked with her mother for a short time. She thanked me. She said, "It helped to see a familiar face." On the way back, the road was quiet. Snow covered the sides of the street. We talked about small things. The town. Old stores. People we both knew. The car felt calm. The next day was the same. I drove her to the hospital again. Then to the store. Then back home. We spent more time together than I expected. It felt natural. We did not talk about the past. I watched her closely. She looked tired, but she did not complain. She took care of her mother with focus. She asked questions. She listened. I saw a side of her I had not seen before. That afternoon, we walked through the town after leaving the hospital. Christmas lights were still on. Some stores were open for a few hours. People greeted us as we passed. They looked at us together. I did not step away. Later, we stopped near the park. Snow covered the ground. We stood near the trees. No one else was around. She asked me if I was sure I had time to help her every day. She said she did not want to be a burden. I told her it was fine and that I wanted to be there. She looked at me for a moment. Her face was serious. Then she nodded. We stood close. I could feel her arm near mine. She leaned slightly against me. I did not pull away. We stayed like that for a few seconds. My heart beat faster. I knew what I felt. I had known it for a while. I turned my head. She looked up at me. I kissed her. She did not move back. She kissed me too. It was slow. It was clear. When we pulled away, neither of us spoke. I knew then that my feelings had not disappeared. They had stayed with me all this time. I also knew this moment would change things. The days after Christmas passed in a steady way. She stayed in town. She helped her mother every day. She worked from the house, sometimes from the hospital room. Her laptop sat on the kitchen table. Her phone was always close. I drove her when she needed to go out, to the hospital, to the store, sometimes just to get fresh air. We talked more than we had before, not about the past, not about what went wrong. We talked about simple things, work, food, the town, her mother. At night, we sat together in the living room. Sometimes we held hands. Sometimes we said nothing. One evening, she told me she had spoken to her company. She said they agreed to let her work remotely for a while. She said it was not an easy choice. She had worked hard for her position. She knew this could slow things down. I did not interrupt her. I watched her face as she spoke. Then she said something else. She said She was tired of leaving. She said she did not want to walk away again. She said losing me once had been enough. She looked at me and said she loved me. She said that clearly, without fear, without excuses. She said even if remote work had not been possible, she would have stayed. She said she wanted a life with people she loved, not just success on paper. She said she wanted to stay with her mother, and she wanted to stay with me. I felt my chest tighten, not with worry, with relief. I told her I had been afraid to hope too much. I told her I did not want to hold her back. I told her I loved her and that I did not want to lose her again. She took my hand and said she was staying because she wanted to. She was choosing. After that, things felt steady. Not perfect, but honest. I opened the repair shop again after the holiday. I worked shorter hours. I came home earlier. Some evenings, she was already there. Other nights, I picked her up from the hospital. Her mother smiled more when she saw us together. She held my hand once and thanked me. I did not know what to say. I just nodded. One night, after a long day, we stood in the kitchen. The house was quiet. She rested her head against my shoulder. I knew then that this was not temporary. This was not waiting for something else. She was here because she wanted to be. With me. I kept that in my mind. I no longer wondered when she would leave. I thought about how we would build our days. Slowly. Together. The town had not changed much, but my life had. This time, she did not leave. This time, I chose love over fear. That was enough.